Hey Scott, thanks for having me here in your Chicago office. It's beautiful. Tell me how you started this company. What were you thinking? What was the opportunity you saw?
Yeah, no, really appreciate it. Good to have you here. So back 9 years ago, we were really seeing a lot of organizations start to think about data visualization and modernizing their front ends. And so we focused a lot early on as a small org about how do we modernize that customer experience? How do we get the end users with really great front end dashboards and great design? Fast forward a few years, you started seeing these companies need to do major changes around their data infrastructure, their core data engineering, really wanting to actually drive business value by automating a lot of the data ingestion, and then nowadays being able to build a ton using AI and ML and everything else that these incredible technologies that are out there today. So,
I spend a lot of time with CEOs and boards, and what's interesting for me about this technological revolution is that it has executive buy-in before it had technology buy-in. But here's the challenge I see. Most executives know we need an AI program. Let's do AI.
Yeah.
And then the technologists don't know which application to build.
Yep.
Are you seeing that there's this dichotomy between executive buy-in, but what is the actual application? What are people doing with it?
Yeah, I think you bring up probably the core problem we're running into today, right? We see for 8 years or 7 years of the business, you started to see everything start from IT or start from an analyst that was using some sort of technology. Now, I would argue in the last 2 years, the amount of engagement we've had at the C-level or boards has skyrocketed for that reason, right? Everyone is wanting to utilize AI. I'd say the actual application of that is very difficult. Like, how do you actually implement it? How do you do something that's really transformational for your business? And so for us, our job all along has been, instead of just spending all this money on AI, buying the latest and greatest technology, how do you actually implement that technology to change business processes or to drive incremental business value? Whether that's making more money, whether that's saving money, whether that's saving time, any of those are possible. For us, it's about how do we bring these solutions and lessons learned from the other organizations we've worked with.
So interesting, because it's really about value transformation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And what's interesting about the AI wave, if you want to call it that, is when I started out and the internet first came out, that's how old I am, the technology people accepted it, but there wasn't a lot of acceptance from the business case.
Yeah.
Which industries are you seeing that are adopting AI the best way? And that might not be a valid question because it probably affects all industries. But what are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious answer is like the very forward-leaning, verticals that we see. So the retail companies or the media companies, they're always the first movers. But what we're seeing is actually some of the industries that have historically been a little bit more laggards in technology. Let's call it energy and utilities, for example. We're starting to see these massive opportunities for automation or for grid modernization or for utilizing modern technology like drones to be able to make their team incredibly more efficient. So some of these industries that maybe historically haven't invested as much in technology or been as forward-leaning, and now they're saying, we can utilize this technology, we can implement it, and it can have massive cost savings or massive revenue increases, which are very important in some of those industries.
Yeah, so exciting. Do you think most enterprises understand where their legacy data is?
No, I think a lot of people understand where some of it is, right? But as we get into these engagements, I think the hardest part is not understanding where it is, but how are we actually integrating that? How are we actually making use of it? I mean, I give the same example of our business sometimes can be broken down to a very simple thing. Let's say we're working with a retailer, and you talk to the merchandising team, you talk to their sales team, you talk to their marketing team. How each of those groups calculate revenue might be 3 completely different ways, right? So half our job is coming in and just making everybody agree, this is how we calculate revenue. Then to your point, you're able to pull all the data together in one way where we're all looking at not just the same data, but reading it the same way, calculating things the same way as well.
What's impressive to me about you guys is your industry expertise. Because I think you and I were talking off camera, you don't have to just know Databricks or you don't need to know data. You have to understand the industry. How important do you think that is today to help a client by having that industry knowledge?
Yeah, it's absolutely critical in the AI world today. I mean, I would say historically it was nice to have, but a lot of the work you're doing is migrating data or you're doing very technical projects that I would say it's nice to have the expertise, but maybe not critical. Nowadays, talking about the AI processes that you're trying to automate, or if you go into an energy company, you have to understand, okay, we fly a drone to look over a power line. That power line line is having some issues. We need to send out a crew to go and fix it. So we have to submit a work order. You have to understand that entire process in a level of detail that allows us to be able to come in and give an educated opinion on how you implement the technology to fix it, for example.
I think what's really interesting is before I met you, I was sitting around because I'm involved with AI, because you know I'm the technical shark on Shark Tank. Mark Cuban thinks he is, but he's really not.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, how do I get involved? And I thought, I am going to build the best AI data integrator in the world. And then we have a mutual friend, Jerry, and he introduced me to you, and you told me about the business, and I was super excited to meet you, and then I was really depressed when I got off the phone. And my wife said, "Why are you so sad?" And I said, "Well, because this guy, Scott, just killed my entire ambition to start a business." You've built the company I would have built. And obviously you were much smarter because you did it 9 years ago. I was going to do this last year. But that was the exciting part for me, is because I think, you know, as this technology wave grows, I see incredible growth and need for people to understand how to apply the technology. And I think today we have a lot of buzz with AI this and AI that, but I come from an environment where eventually you have to justify the expense.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to get there with AI. I think executives are going to say, we spent all this money, how do we get justification out of it? What applications are we using? And so it was exciting for me. Thank you for letting me invest.
It's been great to have you on the team, and you know, obviously, like you said, the technical shark, it definitely helps. But you know, for us, it's what you're saying is exactly what we're seeing, and I think the ability to bring you onto the team, and you know, a lot of the connections and relationships you have, alongside what you've seen at a lot of these organizations, whether it's in the office of security or whether that's just at the C-level or a board, like everyone's having the same problem. Like they're making huge investments in AI. How do you actually realize the value out of those is the part that's tough, right?
Well, and isn't it interesting how my old world, cybersecurity, and your world are coming together?
For sure.
I mean, Databricks just announced a SIM type product, and I think we're going to see that in the latest issues with Anthropic and Claw and all this other stuff. But I think all of those worlds are going to come together and continue to grow.
No, I think so as well. Like the security side is really interesting, right? Databricks releasing LakeWatch, like it's a technology that we think can be revolutionary for a lot of our customers. It can be not just cost savings, but the ability to analyze this incredible amount of logs using all of the Databricks technology that they've released is incredibly powerful. And we're already seeing a lot of interest from a lot of our top clients in using it. So it's fascinating. In early 2020, we decided to partner with Databricks. And at the time, there was another database company that was really taking off. And for us, we had a couple clients utilizing Databricks, and we saw, we could go down the path of sort of this established data provider. We could partner with them, but instead, like our team believed very deeply in the technology that Databricks was releasing. We saw firsthand some of our clients utilizing the technology, and so we reached out to them and happened to have some mutual connections that work there. And soon enough, we were one of their first consulting partners. And what was a business that was 100% data visualization and analytics engineering, 2 years later was really almost 100% dedicated to Databricks. And that's attributed to just how much the technology has taken off, and everything our clients have utilized around the technology has been remarkable.
Is Databricks an investor also in Lovelytics?
So we were lucky enough in 2023, Databricks invested in us. We were their first consulting investment that they made as a partner. So at the time gave us just a stamp of credibility.
That's incredible.
Incredibly competitive space, right? It allowed us to, it was nice to have the trust of them that they would put their hard-earned money into our company and allow us to grow together. And it's been an incredible partnership.
Well, kudos to you, because I know when you start, you think, I got to service everybody. And of course, like I got to work with all the data companies, but eventually you pick the right horse in this race. And I think the growth of Databricks is going to continue unabated. I mean, I think they're doing incredible things. They're moving into cyber, and you're probably one of the top partners in the world now.
Yeah, it's we're lucky to be able to see the momentum that Databricks has had, and to obviously be a part of that journey that they've been on. And it's just been remarkable to see them grow. And for me, and I know your company shared a very similar approach. Like I believe a lot in just focusing on one thing and being very, very good at that one thing. And for us, that's Databricks. It doesn't mean that's the only thing you can do as a company, but it does mean that if people come to us, I want to be able to say we're the absolute best at implementing Databricks and making sure you see value from it.
Isn't it funny, when you first start the business, you do a lot of things. And as you get bigger, they actually narrow.
Absolutely.
And I remember when I started my company, we had like 25 partners we worked with. At the end, we had 4. And even then I was like, oh, this is too many. But it's better to be the best Databricks integrator in the world than a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know, I think when you're starting, it's very easy to want to get as much revenue as you can, and hence 20, 25 partners, you know, anybody that can bring us $1, let's do it. But then as you start to realize, like, what is the most valuable dollars? Where can we drive long-term business outcomes for our clients? You have to be very, very specific about what you do and how you drive, you know, value for your customers out of that. And so, you know, to your point, we've had the same thing. We've really whittled down what we do and where we do it, and that's allowed us to be very good in the areas that we focus.
And why is it called Lovelytics?
Yeah, I tried not to use my name. You know, my wife actually came up with the name at the time. It's the hardest part about starting a company. Like, you can't get a website, you can't get a business license, and I was writing down every word to do with data and trying to come up with it. And I think my wife just got tired of me and said, you know, just use Lovelytics. The worst part is the website was taken. Who in the world I'd pay $1,000, which at the time was like an unexpected cost.
Somebody had Lovelytics.com?
Correct, had to pay $1,000 for the website name. Like, oh,
wow.
who would have thought?
Who would have thought? I don't want to know what that company did.
Well, we always say that we could pivot this very easily to a dating app. If things don't go well with Databricks, like immediately into a dating app. You know, as we've talked about, like, we are the #1 Databricks partner. We know that's where we really can be the absolute best at driving results for our clients on that platform. How we do that is through a couple of different ways, right? One, we believe very heavily in verticalized IP. Like, what do we know are the most important use cases, areas of value, and how can we build repeatable IP that we can take to multiple customers to allow them to realize value quickly and with quality? So that's one. Two, like, from a services perspective, like, you're a people business, right? You have to build a culture that people want to stay, that they can grow, and that also attracts great talent, right? People want to work with other great people. We've also been lucky enough to build out a data school in Latin America and a program we call Advance here in the US, where we train our own talent, early career individuals that can grow through that, and a lot of the team we have today focuses there. You know, we've also been lucky enough to drive, you know, or we've driven a lot of outcomes for the Fortune 500, and being able to show that we've done that over and over again for some of the largest organizations out there. You know, whether that's Domino's and helping them with really, you know, revamping how they go to market and how they.
How many employees are there today?
So today we have about 550 people, and that's roughly split between Argentina, Colombia, US, and Canada.
When you started 9 years ago, how many did you have?
Oh my God, we had one. We had Lax and me sitting in a 10 by 10 office at a WeWork trying to figure out how to do things. And you know, I'm sure with your company it was similar. It goes from 1, and then we added Michael at 2, and then start adding 3, 4, 5, and you continue to grow. And there's a lot of taking leaps of faith and belief in the team.
I don't think people or customers realize, and I think that's really one of the advantages that you have, is how hard it is to get great people in hot technologies.
Yeah, completely.
Like in cyber, the unemployment rate was 0. Yeah. And I knew at one point everybody who worked with me could get a job across the street.
Absolutely.
And for you to go from 1 to 500 and retain and continue to grow is a testament to the culture, because it's a super hot technology. Everybody wants to be in AI. Has Latin America been a offshore, onshore resource for you?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So we acquired a firm called Datalytics last year, and it's been from a technology perspective, they're incredible technologists. They've integrated with our team. It's really one team. You won't notice a difference between North America and South America. Everyone operates together. More importantly, they've brought an element of their culture into our culture here in North America. Like, very upbeat, very happy. Clients love interacting with that. It's infectious internally, and you go and visit, or they come and visit here. Like, it's just an incredible uplift to our organization.
Do you only buy companies with the name Lytics in it?
It is incredible, both had Lytics, both were Databricks partners, and it was just an unbelievable coincidence. But from the first time we met them, I met Pato and Guille, who founded it. Like, just unbelievable guys. I think we clicked on the first call and shared a lot of the same values around culture and what we built.
They were a big Databricks partner for South America.
They were the #1 Databricks partner in Latin America. And so for us, being able to come together as one was critical. I mean, very, very.
Is there a big Databricks partner in Europe?
Yeah, there's definitely some Databricks partners in Europe. Maybe that's.
Have you looked at acquiring them?
We haven't looked at acquiring, but we could either expand there or acquire.
You got me. Well, Scott, thanks for having me as part of the team. Thank you for letting me invest, and You know, I really believe AI will be the greatest technological transformation in my lifetime. And I think for enterprises, it's completely transformative. But the key is having the right partner on board.
Completely.
And I think you guys are doing a great job, and I hope you continue to do so.
Awesome. We really appreciate it. Excited to have you on the team and looking forward to growing the business together.
Thank you. Awesome.